Well, hello there. We're about ready to go live here on this special edition of Live with Bottleneck called A Week in Review with Jaime and Sara. So stay tuned. We'll be right with you. Well, hello. Sara had good execution this morning.
And, good morning from the Bottleneck Studios.
Oh, I like that. Bottleneck Studios. Cheers.
Coffee's good.
It is good. Mm-hmm. It's 50% decaf and 50% Black Rifle coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So we're excited to chat with y'all today. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be talking about
spring into summer.
Spring into summer? What does that mean? What does spring into summer mean?
Well, spring turns into summer, or we're going to spring into summer. It could be, an action, or
yeah, I think it's an action. I think we're going to talk. It's spring right now, obviously, since the time that we're recording this. If you're watching live, please ask questions, make suggestions, comments, anything you want. But basically, what this is it's a live stream that we do together called Live with Bottleneck. This is the special edition. Every Friday morning around 10 a.m. Central Time, we'll be talking about our business, our challenges, our successes, our look at that.
What?
It's your lipstick. And we'll be, just kind of opening up our business to you a little bit. And basically, Sara will take over from here.
Thank you. So it was a eventful, very challenging week for us here at Bottleneck. But challenge is good. We learn from it. We grow from it. And we are a growing company. We started as on a shoestring. There's no investment. This was all Jaime's super hard work. So our business is very dynamic because it's constantly growing, and we're having to grow with it. And one of the big challenges we've had is with our CRM. And he doesn't want me to say that word. I think it's a trigger this week. And then also,
what word?
Then also another challenge has been making sure that when we bring on new team members, that they know what their expectations are. I think a little bit got lost in the translation, and that was gave us a few challenges.
Yeah. Setting expectations is super important, and we're finding out that we need to be overly communicative in explaining what the capacities are so that people know exactly what to expect when bringing somebody on. See, the biggest challenge is a lot of people think they're going to hire a distant assistant and everything's going to be roses. They're going to come in pre-trained, know how to do everything, and be up and running quick. Well, that is not the case. I don't care who you are, what position you're in. You could be a doctor that has gone to school for all these years, and you open up a practice, or you're managing a practice, and then all of a sudden you're trying to figure things out because a doctor has never had any business school, really. I've talked to a lot of physicians, asked them how many hours of their schooling did they learn about business. 0 is what I hear a lot. 0. And now they're running a practice. They're running a business. And so there's a lot of things that have to be learned. And then from one organization to another organization, they could use the same software, the same CRM, the same project management tools. However, their processes are 100% different. And so no matter how well someone comes into a position, trained in email management, calendar management, whatever it is, they have to learn a completely different system. I think it's safe to say that the way that my assistant Raina and I work on our email is different, and it's just G Suite service, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's way different than even Sarah might have her email set up.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that I've seen this before too, like typing in passwords before, right? So I use a software called LastPass. It's easy for me. Other people don't do that. Some people use OnePass. Some people use all these other things. The objective is the same, but getting there is different. It depends on what we're used to. So we used to talk a lot about the assistants. They will know about email management, calendar management, and all that kind of stuff. But we changed our verbiage saying that the assistants can be trained in email management, calendar management, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's been a big, I think we'll see a big game changer in the way that we're talking, because we need to bring that level of expectation way down so that we're not over-promising, or the perception
Mm-hmm.
of what we're can deliver is assumed by our clients to be more than what we've stated. So we're adding in an extra slide on our presentation. So think about, this is you, this is the DA. When you first hire a distant assistant, the distant assistant knows this much of what you know, right? We've worked it out to where it takes about 90 days for the distant assistant to kind of get on that same level. And they're still not there yet, but because they haven't learned everything that you're doing. So what happens is, over the course of 90 days, 3 phases, they get delegated certain tasks. And then what happens is, once they get delegated a task, our assistant will then take that task via video instruction or whatever, take that task. And then what they'll do is they will document that in a workflow, schedule an appointment with our client, and confirm that that documented workflow is indeed correct. And what we're finding is, a lot of times they're missing a step or 2 or something like that. But that's a good thing, because now you can talk to them and say, oh, you missed step 3, or we should do this here instead. But other than that, it looks great. So make those changes. They make the changes, get them to them. And then that person, you can say, yes, that's good. Now, if you're here and they're here, they've increased a little bit, and your confidence is growing, right? Your confidence is growing because now you know that they fully understand what that task entails, because they've documented it step by step, and you've confirmed it. So what happens is, at the end of 90 days, they get delegated a task, get a workflow, and they start increasing. Now what happens is your confidence raises, right? And so what happens at the end of that 90 days, they provide a documented workflow manual for you. And now what happens over the course of 90 days is you maybe have the confidence to delegate more responsibility to them.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty soon you start seeing them go like this. And what's nice is, when I raise when I raise their level of knowledge and experience based on what you're talking about, this is all administrative. What does that do for you? It frees you up to do more things, to focus on goal-oriented tasks, objective tasks that are going to help you focus on the bottom line, focus on more opportunities for income growth in your business, and it relaxes you, because you're not doing the things that you don't really want to, that don't give you energy. You didn't become a doctor, you didn't become an entrepreneur so that you could check your emails and schedule, consultations or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You became a doctor, an entrepreneur, or whatever, because there's something about that really gives you a lot of energy that you're very passionate about. And why not focus the majority of your time on that? However, that being said, when you first start out, it's going to take a lot of time over the course of that first 90 days, because during these interactions too, what's happening?
You still got to see your patients.
You still got to see your patients, but you're also building relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And relationships aren't just like that. I mean, how long did it take for you and I to get married?
5 years?
5 or 6 years, something like that. I mean, relationships take time. And I'm not saying it's going to take 5 or 6 years for your assistant to get going. However, if you hire somebody, be prepared to spend some time or designate a person, a point of contact for that new assistant that's going to be able to be there for them and answer their questions and hold their hand along the way, because this relationship will grow and flourish. And I'm not saying that everything was roses when I first hired Raina, my assistant. It was challenging. We spent a lot of time together. But right now, if you were to email me and she responded or I responded, chances are you wouldn't know the difference, because we've worked together for almost 3 years now. We've built a really good relationship. We've learned each other's tone, our voice, all of that stuff. When you hire a distant assistant through Bottleneck, you're looking to hire someone on an intimate-based relationship, not a transactional-based relationship. Someone that's really going to carry the torch for you, for your tone, your voice, your vision, your mission. And that takes time. So we really need to adjust our expectations. And I think by making this tweak, that's what we're going to do.
Yep. So think of it, there's several ways you can think of it. In the most simplistic way, think of going to college and your first class you take, or any class. And usually the first day is nothing but orientation. You're not going to do any work. You're just getting oriented. The professor or the teacher is talking to you and telling you what their expectations are and what tools you need to meet their expectations. And that in the most simplistic terms is what it is you need to have to prepare for onboarding a DA for yourself.
Yep.
Or so McDonald's has a point of sale, right? That's where you stand behind the cash register and enter in the order. Burger King has the exact same thing, but it's different. The cook's in the back. They're cooking similar food, but it's all different. So yes, you know how to, a DA knows how to work with the G Suite, but they don't know how you want them to work with G Suite. So patience, communication, asking questions, asking them to repeat what you've asked of them, ask them to repeat your instructions to them, make sure they know fully. It's all about communication.
And that's why it's good for them to go off, watch a video tutorial. That's the best way that I know how to do it. I would say, okay, this is how I do it. And I'll do a screen share and I do this and this and this. And then I'll say, okay, so take this and do a step-by-step. Every time we click the mouse button, that should be a step. So write down what that step is and take a screenshot, right? And then step 2, step 3, and go with that. As soon as you're done with that and you feel confident, schedule time with me. Let's review it. And then make any additions that we need or edits that we need to make. And then once we agree on that, I now know that that's out of my brain, the way that I like it to be done. And I give it to the assistant. So now the assistant, who, by the way, actually likes doing these types of tasks, right? So we find somebody that enjoys doing those tasks, that don't give me energy, that give them energy. They may be very detail-oriented, whereas I am not very detail-oriented. So it's a good mixture there, and that helps build the relationship. Well, what you'll also see, too, since you'll be focused on growing the business, they'll be focused on all of these tasks. And chances are they're going to find ways to improve that process and make it even better over time. And pretty soon you'll have a pretty well-oiled machine. But again, you got to be willing to put in the work there. Just because you're hiring somebody does not mean that they're going to come in and be able to run your company for you. So you can go and, go on holiday or do whatever it is you want to do. So that's what we learn. And so we're trying to choose our words very, 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 very carefully, so that people understand what the level of expectations are. And they don't think they're just going to get somebody in that can do everything. We call that the golden goose. And that's probably a story for another day, unless you want to talk about golden goose now.
Well, lots of things we can talk about. Let's talk about your frustrations this week.
So my frustrations this week were a couple things. Let me see. Well, that was one of them. I don't know if that was a frustration. It was a challenge. It wasn't really a frustration. I get frustrated by that, but I did get frustrated by a couple of things that, in talking with people, I'm frustrated that I haven't been more clear, and it's on me 100%, and some of the things that I wanted done. So I had to go back and reiterate a couple things because either they were done incorrectly, we missed a deadline, things like that. And so I had a couple of different conversations this week with key members and a couple different conversations with clients to kind of get everybody on the same page. And kind of, I had to be more clear about what the vision is, about where we wanted to get to, so that people could start working on the objectives today that would get us to our vision quicker, stronger, and with more precision. And so that was pretty challenging for me this week. Yeah, I did get frustrated a couple times. Poor Sarah had to deal with a frustrated husband.
It's okay. But
she'll do tag, and then I'll have to deal with her for a little bit too.
Yeah, I get frustrated when I'm overwhelmed with numbers that I don't know how to create the forms, and I can dive into something and spend 2 hours on it, and I'm getting nowhere. And it's because I don't want to bother somebody else who, is an expert, but they have other things they can be doing. And I'm thinking, this is so simple, I should be able to figure it out. And then finally I just throw my hands up in the air, and I'm a little short. Yeah. Yeah. We have an amazing financial advisor, Kurt Stowers. And he's the best. He talks us both off a cliff. And
he talked me off a cliff this week.
Yeah. And, he explains things. He puts them in, a third grade level for us. And he's so patient, and he's got a really cool cat. He's got a therapy cat. So that thing.
Yeah. And we found out we had some limitations on our CRM. We use HubSpot, and I'll say that because I think it's a good software. I just get frustrated with their pricing model. Their pricing model is insane. And they know that their target is now more of a established business. So their prices go up. But it's like, man, we just want one little more feature there, and it's great software, but we just want one more feature. But in order to get that one more feature, we have to get all this other stuff with it. And it's like, it more than doubles the cost that we're currently paying right now. And we don't need all the other stuff. We already have all the other stuff taken care of. And it's just like, well, sorry, can't help you,
Yeah.
And I will say our sales rep, and I forget what they call him at HubSpot, but our sales rep, he's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy. It's just, he's working for a company. He's got his guidelines. He doesn't have some flexibility. And I will tell you, they have worked with us in getting some pricing, and they've really helped us out getting where we're at. It's just a constant, like, gosh, we've got to do this again. We got to negotiate again. We got to see and it's time consuming. I wish we could just do that easy button that so many people want. So that was another frustrating challenge on our part this week.
That was very nicely said.
Yeah.
That's not the response I had yesterday.
It wasn't. And to be honest,
my head was gone because he bit it off.
I was
headless. I was the headless wife.
I did not do that. I just stayed in my own little hole yesterday for a little while because I was just I was offended.
He was very, very upset.
I don't know about very, very upset, but I was offended. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, but that's business. That's what we're doing. That's why we do a week in review. We're just, we're 100% vulnerable. We just want to let you know what's happening. And for anybody out there that is interested in learning more about HubSpot, by all means, check into it yourself. The software is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as what I was talking about before, the learning curve, that's pretty huge.
It is. It's
a
big learning curve.
It's a robust system. And one of the things that challenges me too is I like redundancy. So what happens if something goes down with HubSpot and maybe they sell and everything changes, or maybe they quit? I don't know. Who knows? I think there's only one company on the stock market when the stock market started that's still there today, and that's General Mills. Where did all those other big, awesome companies go?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's possible that HubSpot shuts down or sells off or does something like that. If that's the case, what do we do here? Because we have a lot of systems and processes built around that. So I like having the redundancy of having maybe a couple different pieces of software that we can easily switch out little sections and that won't affect our whole operations. Whereas with HubSpot, we have to kind of like, that's our deal.
Everything's integrated around it.
Now, if we have to get out of HubSpot and do something else, that is a huge endeavor. It's a huge move. So we would, in essence, take all of our data and transfer it and upload it into, or migrate it into another system, another CRM system. And who knows what kind of compatibility issues we'll find at that point.
And then we have to go back and redo all the workflows.
All the workflows.
All of it. And that takes time. That's a deep dive.
That's months. So when we look at changing systems, HubSpot has been a 6-month transition for us. All the while juggling our business, bringing on new clients and recruiting new distant assistants. So yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And you want to do your best for your clients. You want to do the best for the DAs to support them. But you have to have these systems, and the systems are living, breathing documents, workflows, and processes. So those are being updated weekly. They have to be, as we learn, as we grow, as we hire more people, more processes need to occur.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So if you guys ever watched, what is it? Bar Rescue? Bar Rescue. Yeah. And so they go through the change, and he cut that. Well, I don't remember the guy's name. He comes in and he changes everything.
John Taffer.
Yeah. And, and they have the stress test night where they've changed everything up, and now they're going to test the whole staff. Well, the whole staff, you know why it's a big major F up? It never works out great.
So they weren't really trained on it.
They had no processes. The head didn't know what the tail was doing. The wait staff didn't know what to tell the kitchen. The kitchen didn't know what to tell the wait staff. It was, and that's it. They go through that process. And it's a 1-hour show. And I guarantee you that took place over
3 days, 4 days, 5 days.
Longer than that. Yeah.
Probably.
I'm going to say, because they had to go through training. Yeah. So.
Yeah, crazy. So anyways, it's a challenge, and a lot of you out there that are running your own business, you might relate to some of this stuff. If you have any suggestions for us, let us know. And I will say one other challenge I have, and this comes with, now I'm not arguing because our company is growing, right? So that's a plus. And we want it to grow. So it's something that we're working hard towards. So that's an objective that we clearly want this business to grow and do better. We want to provide a safe environment for the distant assistants, both internal and external team members. And we also want to have our clients feel comfortable that we're going to be here for a long time, which I believe and hope that we are. And so one of the other challenges that I found is that's kind of derailing what I'm working on is I get bombarded with sales calls daily, every single day. And it's very frustrating. And I God bless them, because I think, they're doing their job. They got to reach out. They got to do this stuff. But it's challenging because I get them on LinkedIn and I get emails, and I'm like, how do these people get my email? What the heck? And, hey, how you doing on LinkedIn? And hey, by the way, yeah, I checked out your site. It looks fantastic. We do this, and this. I'm like, oh, another one. and I'm so nice. I think that I like to respond to people because I can tell when something's automated and when someone types a personal. I think I can. They're probably good bots by now that I have no idea what I'm doing, but so I'll reply to them and say, hey, thanks so much. I get them all the time for CFOs. Oh my gosh, financial advisors. Hey, we can help you streamline, be more profitable. And we have a great CFO and financial advisor. We're really happy. And usually that's okay, but just taking that little time there is like, or, someone else will come on the team and say, hey, Jamie, this person wants to talk to you about this and this and this. And they, and it turns out that, hey, it's great. It's good content, but basically they're trying to sell you their services. And I'm okay with that, because we need to purchase things in order to be more successful. So we have the infrastructure to do things just like HubSpot. But it's like, man, I just keep getting hit. And that's been pretty challenging for me. In that everybody I talk to, just about, it seems, probably, just about everybody's looking for a way that they can sell me something. And I get it, that's business, but Lord, it's challenging. And, a couple people, they may refer business over, and I will refer it if something pops up, but I don't have the time to go out and actually, become a salesperson for those people and say, hey, have you heard of this? Work with this guy. And, I don't have the time to do that. And it makes me feel bad, because if they're referring someone over to me, sometimes they're expecting for me to go out and refer someone back to them. And I don't have the bandwidth to be able to do that. And so I've just started telling people, hey, here's a referral program, because the referral program, we never had one before. We now have one. And I say, here you go. It's a referral program. If you refer someone over, we'll get you sorted. We'll actually pay for that. And I think that has kind of helped, but I'm still at the point where I'm like, oh, and I don't want to sound like a jerk or be mean, but sometimes I need to kind of stand my ground and just say, hey, thank you so much. Because I don't want to burn relationships. I may need that service down the road, or maybe I can refer that person to somebody at some point. But I don't want to lead people on either. And that's a big challenge for me. That's a big hurdle.
So yeah, if anybody has any suggestions on that.
Yeah, for sure. Let me know. And now I'll probably get some coaches saying, hey, I can help you with that. Right. So it just kind of keeps going. Yeah. So anyways, that was some of the challenges we had. What were some of the good things?
Good things. Well, we got this awesome spreadsheet now for any salesperson that comes on board.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that
automatically figures out your commissions.
Some more tweaks today, but you know what? It's only taken what, 4 or 5 days?
Yep.
To maybe 6 days to get all this done.
That's when because see, I tried to do it. Not my expertise.
It was good. It was a great starting place, but like Glenda and I looked at it and we're like, we can make this better.
Yep.
This is what we need. This is what we need to look at. Let's simplify it. And this guy's done a great job.
Yep. And that might be a good lesson too, for a lot of us out there. Like, do I spend my time doing spreadsheets? No, I shouldn't. But certain things, yes, I need to be involved in. And if it's a sales compensation plan, I'm going to be involved in that, right? So might be a good lesson to people. Start it out, do what you can, or at least write out what you're thinking, and then give it to an expert.
Yep. Or
give it to somebody that can do that, enjoys doing that, and can get that done. That's the best use of your time. That's being efficient. And it's this whole thing about working. You got to work on your business, not in your business. BS. You have to work in your business. If you're going to work on your business, you can. That'll take years to get to. But if you're not in your business, you'll lose the respect of your bride. You'll lose the respect of your team. You'll lose the respect of your clients, because you've got to be in it. You have to be in it. So finding that fine line, that balance line, that's a challenging thing. But be in it enough to create ideas and to document those ideas, and then find people that really thrive on the execution of that.
Yep.
Right?
Yes. And I'm so proud of this guy. He's the hardest working man I know. Mm-hmm. And like, I'm getting teary. You're pretty awesome.
I love
He works
this girl.
hard, and he cares so much about everybody he comes in contact with. And
that's a detriment sometimes.
Yeah, but it's amazing. You're a nice guy.
Oh, well, you're amazing. Thank you for letting me freak out yesterday. Oh boy. Yeah. So what's coming up?
Let's see, this next week. We were supposed to be on a workcation, but I think we're gonna hold off on that.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I hate to say that, but right now we realize we have got to work in the business. Just there's some critical things happening right now.
Hey, Karen Schwab.
Aw, hi, Karen.
Hi,
How are
Karen.
you?
Karen and Tom Schwab, amazing couple. A couple years ago, we went on we rented tandem bikes together with them
Chicago.
in Chicago, and we had so much fun that we ended up doing 16 miles,
Something like that.
16 miles on tandem bikes.
And every time we go up a hill, I take my feet off the pedals just to watch you. He never once figured it out.
And I was like, man, this is tough. She's laughing. Karen and Tom are behind us laughing. Never saying a thing. Well, I need to lose the weight, so it's okay. But and Karen says, that was fun. We need to get together soon.
Yeah,
Yes.
the last time we saw you was 2019 at a Blues game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, was it 2019? I think it was 2018.
Was it 18? Because
It was-
COVID was last year. I don't remember.
It was a
Karen,
couple
can
years
you answer
ago.
that question?
But yeah, that would be so much fun. And Glinda says, good morning. Good morning, Glinda.
Hi,
If you haven't had a chance to connect with Glinda, please reach out to her. She's amazing. She's our director of business development and has got a heart of gold, and like I said, has been instrumental in helping us. We came up with the initial concept, and she's just hacked and cut and chopped and made it so much more efficient. And so that's what we were talking about earlier. You have to still work in your business no matter what, but find the people that are experts in the execution side of it, and that's definitely Glinda. So yeah, coming up. So we decided not to go on our workation this week.
Mm-hmm.
What have we done?
What have we done?
What are we going to do?
What are we going to do?
We're going to work.
Yeah. So I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
How was your new hockey stick Wednesday night?
Oh, it was good. It was good.
Did you like it?
It was good. I got 2 goals. Sarah got me a hockey stick for my birthday.
His birth week.
My birth week.
I'm exhausted.
Oh gosh. So I think that might have been probably some of the reasons why I was so stressed out this week is because we were going so strong the week before, and it was my birthday the week before. For those of you that don't know, I turned a very young 29, and I think 30. I forgot. And on my birthday was Thursday. That night we went out.
We went to dinner.
We went to dinner, and then Friday we were supposed to go meet our friend Dave and his
Tracy.
Dave and his girlfriend Tracy, and turns out she had a surprise party for me, and we walked down. I'm like, oh, you sucker. and then Saturday, what happened Saturday?
We were supposed to go to the lake all day, but there was too much debris, and it was another surprise birthday party.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So, and someone else had a birthday the day after, so they had like a duplicate. I thought I was going there for her birthday, and they celebrated both of them. So that was 3 days in a row that I celebrated my birthday from Thursday. And then she surprised me by taking me to this beautiful place in Arkansas called Eureka Springs. And she got this little cabin, and it was really neat. We sat in jacuzzi, and we walked around all the little shops during the day and all that stuff. If you ever get a chance to go to Eureka Springs, it's a beautiful place. It's a great place for riding motorcycles. There are a lot of motorcycle riders out there, a lot of different motorcycle trails with turns and stuff. So it was a lot of fun. So yeah, that's what we did then. And then we got back Monday. Got back Monday, and both of us were pretty tired. That was a lot of stuff in a very short amount of time. And I think when Tuesday came back around, I was just like, "Oh, I need a rest. I need a rest from the vacation." And
it wasn't even a vacation. It was.
It was one like. Were we there? We weren't even there 24 hours. I don't think. But we did a lot of stuff, and we went to a biker bar.
Oh God!
We went to a biker bar, and
this is hilarious.
so we were going around. There weren't too many places open on a Sunday night in Eureka Springs to eat. Everything closed like at 7, and we were in the jacuzzi at like 6:30 going, I don't know if there's going to be anywhere. She's like, oh yeah, there'll be plenty. And so we started calling around. Yeah, we close at 7. We close at 8. Oh yeah. We're like, oh, and there's one place. Oh, we close at midnight. Like, that's our place.
When did you stop selling food?
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. We're there. So we went there and we drove by, and there were these. Okay, so if you think about a biker, like think Hell's Angels or something, like that's the type of people that we saw when we went there. It was the only place we could go.
They were hanging out on the
They were hanging on the front. They were smoking their cigarettes, and they had their bandanas and their chaps and their Harley Davidson and beards, and like not really nice beards like this. Like, and they looked and they were probably the nicest people in the world, like salt of the earth guys.
Everybody turned out to be super nice.
And they did turn out. But when we walked in, Sarah was like, do you think we should go in there? I'm like, oh yeah, I got this. You know, I'm big. Oh, just don't worry about them. You're okay. Just stick by me.
And everybody was
super sweet. Like, hey, how's it going? Where are you guys from? And I'm like, oh, hey.
And a guy that works there during the day that was not working, he was just there eating dinner. He came down to and sat next to us at the bar and told us all about Eureka Springs and where he lived and all about the owner and the bar and what the owners did. And, you know, it was fun. And then I looked over and I said, there were 2 tables were covered with a poker tabletop. And I said, what's going on there? She goes, oh, it's poker. It's Poker Sunday. I was like, oh. She says, I think it's like a $5 buy-in. I said, Jamie, you should do it. He's like, no, this is the locals. He kind of he was very hesitant. And then you know what he did? He won.
Yeah.
I was out like that.
It was fun. It was a great time. And they were so nice. Like, it was a fun experience. It's one of those things that's probably a good lesson for everybody. If you get a chance to do something, outside your comfort zone, take a chance. I mean, yeah, we could have been shot and killed and drugged behind the motorcycles, you know.
But no, this is Eureka Springs, and it's known as it's a destination for people on motorcycles. So, and we met at another place, the Cat House. What a name! Yeah, the Cat House. Another guy named, was it EJ? EJ. Yeah. And you know, he had on all his leathers and just another guy came in with all his leathers, and I mentioned it, and he just, you know, was like, oh yeah, my wife, you know, and it's just it's so much fun, and you just talk, and it just goes to show it's fun to maybe do something a little bit different outside your comfort zone and experience life in a little bit different way. And wherever you're at, get into that local scene a little bit. And it's also cool too. What we find is we don't like staying in the big fancy hotels like we did when we went to Mexico, and that was all right and stuff. But where we really had a lot of fun is when we went downtown to, you know, immerse yourself in the local culture.
It's there's something to be said about that. It's so much more. It's you just feel more connected instead of, you know, corporate.
Yeah, and it was fun because we were down there on a Sunday, Monday. That when we went someplace, it was mostly locals. Yep. And so and everybody was nice, and you know, they probably avoid those places on Friday and Saturday nights, Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. But it was fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was a good fun. So thank you for the birth week.
You're welcome. I love you because I had the best birthday ever last year.
Yeah. If your wife ever tells you she doesn't want to celebrate her 50th birthday party, that means she wants to celebrate it. Just saying.
Jamie brought in a singer, songwriter from Nashville who's got a label, correct?
Yeah. I don't know if she does or not, but she's a good singer.
She's amazing. Liz Moriando.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
We walked up the hill, and there she is singing on a little stage, impromptu made on my parents' lake house porch, and there's all my friends and family. And I mean, I'm getting emotional again. Look at me. It's emotional Friday.
It's Hockey Friday. Yeah. So you want to tell them what's coming up?
Yeah. You tell them about that one.
Okay, this is our channel is called Bottleneck Television. You can learn more about it. You'll see it in the intro and the outro too. It's called Bottleneck.Online /BTV for Bottleneck Television. You can go there and learn all about what Bottleneck Television is. That's where you can see episodes like this live with Bottleneck even the special editions, where a week in review with Jaime and Sara, or a week in review with Sara and Jaime. And then also some other cool videos that we've done, or some silly videos. Like we got a custom pair of tennis shoes from Nike with Bottleneck on them, random. So we decided to throw that in there. But there's a lot of videos there that you can go back and learn about, and learn from unbelievable people. Because every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m., I talk with business leaders that can help stop the bottleneck in your business. That's the basic goal of Life with Bottleneck. Objective, sorry, that's basic objective. And so that's what Bottleneck Television is. So please go there, subscribe, and click on the little bell icon, and that way you'll be notified of new shows as soon as they hit, just like this one. You can watch it live on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Using StreamYard here. I'm using StreamYard to stream this live. And for some reason, they got rid of the Twitter connection, so there's no more Twitter. Bummer.
Was that Periscope?
It was maybe it was Periscope, but I had to, it got to Twitter through Periscope, so that got all disconnected. I don't know why. But anyways,
what did you say?
What's that? Yeah.
Coming soon to your earbuds. I love that.
Yeah.
James Sinclair, the CEO of Enterprise Alumni. He says, why you need to invest in employees who leave your organization. Oh, that's kind of intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yep. That's going to happen when?
Tuesday, May 11th, 2 p.m. Central and 3 p.m. Eastern time.
That's right. That's right. So that's coming up. It's coming up.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited. And
yeah.
I am going to show this, although my campaign is over. I'm writing a book. It's called Quit Repeating Yourself. And you can, I don't know, but I think the Indiegogo campaign is now over. We did not hit our goal. I fell short and super bummed about that. But it's okay. That means that it's still moving forward. We had 50 some backers, which is really exciting. So 50 people supported the campaign. And I think we ended up at about 90% of goal. So we didn't hit the full amount.
Ooh,
but
close.
The book's still going to come out in September. I was just hoping to get the full support on the campaign. So that, because all the money helped offset the cost for the marketing and the, the book development and the layouts and the editors and all that kind of stuff. And so I got to come out of pocket a little bit on that, but that's okay. We're head deep in revisions right now. So for the next 3 months, I'll be doing revisions, basically rewriting the book because I suck at writing.
No, it's really good. I can't wait for it to come out.
Yeah, I think it'll be good once we get the editors involved. And I'm really excited about it. But yeah, I'll be updating more. And if you're interested in that, just message me and I can bring you into what we call an author circle. In that author circle is where people that have supported the book and helped us out. But you'll help me be able to design the cover or choose which cover is going to be the best. And then we'll do some other stuff like send you the introduction early and things like that, so you get a better idea of what's going on. And then, yeah, it'll be out in September. So that book is called Quit Repeating Yourself. You can see this is not the cover
but
there.
Quit repeating yourself.
Yeah, quit repeating yourself. Quit repeating yourself. So, yeah, pretty excited about that. Anything else?
No, it is 10:47 and we've got to get ready for Hockey Friday.
It's Hockey Friday. So we're gonna be...
And Callie Dave is coming. He said he took the day
off.
So Callie Dave will be there. So he's got new goalie pads to show off.
Oh.
And John's not going to be there. So we'll be short of goalie. So that's good.
John's not going to be there?
He's got, he is working early because they're not going to be available.
Oh, that's right. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. And we hope you have a wonderful Friday. And may all your dreams come true.
The unicorns and the fairies.
Pink elephants and lemonade. Bye. Bottleneck.Online.
Quit repeating yourself.